This is extremely safe out here. I looked at how they treat you and how they actually make everything a smooth process for you to migrate out here. China's one of the best countries for doing that. The level of professionalism is very, very high.
Absolutely.
It tell lies about China terrorized minor.
A long time ago in a club far, far away.
It feels like an airport. You can't find this in the United States. Oh, they gotta come for me. In America, in Canada, in the UK. Ni hao, Ingora and Taichung. Oh, I am tired. It's in the morning. I am heading to Beijing on... Yeah, hello. Ni hao, how are you? Hi. No, what's your name? Bye-bye. What's your name? Ying. Hey, Ying. There you go. Gorgeous Ying. That's it. All it takes, smile. That's why I like it. You can't find this in the UK. This is a train station. It's not an airport, you understand? And I'm gonna catch a train. It's so easy to travel here. All you have to do, just get your passport. Easy peasy. We are going to the capital. It's so funny. I live so close to the capital, and I barely go there these days. But of course today, it's my day off. I'm going to explore it, and it's what it is. And of course, interview my fabulous brothers. They moved to China. Hell yeah! Come on. Well, Sheku, by the way. So I think my Chinese is getting a little bit better. But it's so hard to speak Chinese. I am so scared to make mistakes. I don't like it. But it's alright, it's cool. Let's go. Let's go to Beijing.
Move your body.
It feels like China is the benchmark when it comes to our infrastructure, particularly the high-speed rail. A short ride from Tianjin to Beijing, the capital, to a place I know too well. It is true the infrastructure in China is simply impeccable. Once a resident in Beijing, I tell you my friend, I never liked this. The metro is always packed, crowded. Yeah, I think in Tianjin it's a lot more quieter. You see, this might be my last time in Beijing for a while. I'm relocating to the south of China, Xinjiang in frame. If you come here during the daytime, then surely it's packed. So I'm here in the morning, walking around a little bit. This is one of the first few places I visited when I moved to Beijing, China. Well, I don't live here anymore. Very soon I'll be relocating to Shenzhen. You know, so I can say I've been to. Hello. Hi. How are you? Hi. So very soon I'll be heading to Shenzhen, so I can easily say I've lived in multiple cities, you know, and I'll be living in some of the great cities, and I've traveled to quite a lot of amazing places, yeah. So in this episode, I am mainly going to focus and interview my brothers, you know, and hopefully it will be an interesting one. So it's going to be honest, not going to sugarcoat anything, it's not scripted, and that's it. and this is an honest interview of a brother from the UK that recently moved to China. To make things clear, I do not work for no one. I'm not affiliated with no government entities. I'm independent and my videos are completely free. I've been approached, but I always turn it down because I do not want my work to be interpreted the wrong way.
Oh, Mr. Sheku Mans. So I don't want to pretend to get into Sheku's video or anything.
Anyways, meet a brother called Johnny from London on his pure experience in China. I mean, honestly, pure.
He's getting his free cigar, yeah. Absolutely, what a cool guy, man.
Yeah, that's what I do though.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I've been looking for them so much.
Very cool.
Oh, Sheku.
Wow.
Thank you. Oh, and it's not even me.
I would say, like, if you come to China, you're not open-minded, and surely it's what we're on you. You're not gonna have fun. So I'm so happy to meet a brother from the UK as well. And then basically we work at the same company, and yeah, his transition so far here in China has been, I mean, let's say, pretty good. He has a lot of things to say, and I'm going to interview him, and of course, and I'm going to back up from the camera a little bit, so I'm going to pan the camera towards him now. And yeah, it's my mate. Yeah, Johnny.
What's up?
Yeah, introduce yourself, mate.
How you doing?
Let's say, I think it's best for us to start it with what's your experience so far here in China?
My experience?
Yes.
Well, most of all, it's been great, to be honest.
Right.
It's been really interesting to migrate to this country. I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to Asia as a whole before, but so far I'm really enjoying it. It's a very giving, open culture. People are very friendly, as you can see. They'll kind of stop you, ask for photos, smile. It's just a very open-minded, very safe, convenient country to be in.
Facts, man. So I think we're going to touch on that a bit later. So now the first thing is, like, I just want you to know, like, in China here, you're going to get a lot of keyboard warriors. You know, people actually, because if you say anything positive about China, they're going to come. Okay, let's move a little bit. So they're going to come for you. So how do you tackle, like, when it comes towards being online? So about your opinion.
I don't pay attention. Opinions don't pay bills, first of all.
That's true.
That's number one. Secondly, I always say this, and as someone that's traveled quite a bit and lived abroad, which I have prior to this country, until you've had boots on the ground and been to a country, Western propaganda or people that just sit online in comment sections, they can't say anything. If you haven't been here, you haven't experienced the spirit, the feeling, the emotion, right, of a country, how can you possibly attack it? I might have even had some preconceived notions of China. Now I'm here, and I've been here for a little over a month. A lot of my opinions have been dispelled. A lot of my thoughts and theories I can put to one side because I'm now living inside the experience. So I can actually say wholeheartedly, so far my experience, as I said, has been positive.
Oh, that's good though. So in terms of your experience, like, does that mean like your like Chinese proficiency is quite high then?
Ni hao, xie xie, what the ping yo?
Oh, look at that! Better than my Chinese.
Not too bad. I'm still working on it.
Really? So basically, that's awesome though. At least you know some basic phrase like moving to China, to, you know what I mean, to China. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit, right? Your transition, like moving. I know you're from, you know, the UK, a brother, you know. So why China? That's the question. Why China?
Good question. I think if you look at a lot of things that are happening in the world, particularly in the Western world, where we're from, I think there's been a bit of a migration towards more Eastern countries. They're opening up the doors, right? There's opportunities in countries like China. There's opportunities for Westerners to come over and learn skills and live and build a life there. And I think I was looking for somewhere where I could find a superior well-being than what I was having in the UK. I think anyone that knows what's going on in the UK right now could understand why a lot of people are heading for the hills. But in particular, you asked me about China. The whole process of migration here has been terrific with our employer, as far as finding me an apartment, a bank account, a phone, helping me get set up so I could feel stable and secure. That process, I don't know if that would be replicated if I was going the other way to a Western country or the UK. And I felt like they've opened the doors for me to come out here and feel comfortable, and so I can actually begin my career out here. And I can't say fairer than that. So I looked at that. I looked at how they treat you and how they actually make everything a smooth process for you to migrate out here. China's one of the best countries for doing that. The level of professionalism is very, very high.
Absolutely. You know what, yeah? When you're talking about that, so that mainly like the company you're working for, right? So you're talking about the transition really, to make life much easier. Yeah, I think that's a good thing because we work at the same company as well. And I'll say like if you move to a place and then let's say you're coming here for work and then you're not well taken care of, right? Your company they'll provide you all the support. You're not going to have a good perspective of a place.
Absolutely.
You know, so definitely, so you can say you're lucky when it comes towards the company you're working for now, right? So what do you say when it comes towards? I know you've seen a bit of diversity, right? Do you think China is still a diverse place when it comes towards the workplace? I
would say so. Yeah, I think you only have to look at our work environment to see that we've got all creeds, colours and shades working in our environment, people that speak different languages, that are from different parts of the world, but there's obviously a lot of parallels in terms of maybe the way they look. And I think even that alone dispels another myth, right? Yeah. You come to a work environment like ours, you could mistake it for being a work environment in any other Western country, whether it be UK, Canada, Australia or America, because it's so diverse. There's so many people there that are, you know, from English-speaking countries, bringing the experiences from those countries, but equally are happy to be working in China by bringing all of that experience across.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, man. So that's good though. At least you're very positive, you know. So why so positive, like in terms of like exploring a place so far away from everything you know?
That might be a bit more unique to my personality. I think I'm a bit more of a nomadic person. I'm a little bit more open-minded maybe than some people that look like me who might watch this, and that's okay. It's not going to be for everybody. I said this to you before off camera. China might not be everyone's experience. Ni hao. It might not be everyone's experience. People are walking past us right here as we're speaking. This is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Hello, ni hao, hello. As you can see, right? Not everyone will be so comfortable being maybe the only person that looks like them in a busy street like this. I couldn't care less. I feel completely at peace and completely at ease. But
so you notice like people look at you.
Well, you can see I'm smiling, you're smiling. You're happy and you're positive in any environment. That's going to help you. Whether or not you stand out. I think, like you said, to answer your question, I think I'm just generally a positive person wherever I am. I'm not going to look at it like because I'm like one of the few people that maybe looks like me working here. That's something that should count against me. If anything, I'm going to try and take that and use it as an advantage. That's just my approach.
Right. That's good though. That's good. Like you are out there, you know. I think the more you travel around China, this is my advice, like just maintain what you have now, smile, and trust me, you are going to see a huge difference really. Like here, do you find it difficult, even though let's say you know a bit of Chinese phrase, right? Do you still find it difficult like to travel around?
I don't say I find it difficult. It can be a little bit challenging because obviously the language barrier. Like I said, I haven't mastered the language by any means, but equally, like again, people are very helpful here. If you go up to people and ask them, and you open up your Google Translate and you try and translate the words for the help you need, people will stop and have the time for you and at least try and, at the very least, point you to the right direction of maybe where you need to go to get your problem remedied. So it was a little bit challenging maybe in the first couple of weeks, but I've slowly got my head around how to use certain apps, how to use Didi to order taxis, things of that nature. So yeah, now I'm a little bit more at ease with like moving around and asking for help as well.
Oh, that's good. Look, you're famous, you know.
I think people are just curious.
She's very cool. Yeah, hello.
Just curious that you've got a camera and you're interviewing me, and I think the fact that I look a little bit different maybe makes them think I'm famous, but by no means am I famous.
Right, so do you feel uncomfortable when someone whack out the camera and they start recording you? Right?
Here's my approach to that, and I know some people from Western countries do. I'm in their country, right? I stand out. I look a little bit different. I wouldn't say it's upon me to always take pictures because I could be busy, I could be going to work, but I don't feel uncomfortable at all because I expect that I'm in certain regions where maybe there aren't so many people that look like me. So I don't treat it like it's anything that I should feel like annoyed about or disgruntled about. I just think it's them just being friendly and curious.
True. So let's stay on that point, right? People that look like us, right? Really, like here in China, it is true. Like basically, let's say you don't see a lot of them.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
It is true, like you don't see a lot of people that look like us, right? So like what's your perception in terms of like how the people treat you here because of what you look like, really? Do everyone like look at you down? You know, people might be like in the West, oh, China is a very racist place. Is the media right about their perception of China? Is China like a backward place and it's not worth exploring? Like for someone like us, maybe we might be oppressed. Basically, we might not be allowed to get into certain places. What's your experience so far? You've been here.
Complete propaganda.
Yeah.
Once again, it's like you have to open your mind and go somewhere and see it for yourself. Okay, you might have your head on a swivel a little bit at first because you haven't been there or you haven't heard necessarily the most positive things, but I would dispel a lot of those myths because, like we're seeing right now, people are walking past us, they're smiling, they're taking pictures, they might ask you for pictures. People are more open-minded than you think. Sometimes it's a case of the people that are coming there maybe haven't opened their mind up. Maybe they're a little bit closed off and they're expecting to get some sort of negativity or pushback. You know, so I would say, don't let that put you off. Don't let that put you off trying something out that can be good for you. I haven't had any negativity out here in terms of how I've been treated. But like I said, I think my approach is to try and lead with positive energy. And if you do that, you're going to be met with positive energy back.
That's so true. That is so true. Like, since I've been here in China, basically, I've never been treated so poorly by anyone. Like literally, or say the police pull you over for no apparent reason, you know. So of course, then you haven't been here long enough, really. But for me, I've been to so many places. I'll tell you what, as long as you compose yourself, there's certain experience you experience here. Like basically, they just want to check your document right, and if you have all of that in place. So how would you tackle a situation like that if that happened in the future? How would you go about it?
It's a good question. Obviously, we hope it doesn't happen, but I would say for the most part, just to try and remain calm, you know, just to let the authorities do what they do. That would be the same in any environment, let alone a foreign environment. And just, you know, at the same time, like, not try and take it so personally. Maybe they're just trying to do their job. Maybe they're just trying to follow procedure. Okay, I am a foreigner and I stand out, so you could argue maybe I would be, careful. You could argue I might be being targeted in that situation, but don't forget, we have liaisons out here, people we can turn to and we can call up in those scenarios. So I would just, you know, I would look for whoever could help me as far as like who's on my the team in my work institution to step in and try and handle the situation. I wouldn't get in my feelings and get all, you know, I'm a little bit older, so I'm a little bit more used to like, you know, not being in environments all the time where I have everything going for me. So I wouldn't take it personally. I would just say, look, as long as I'm behaving appropriately, I'm not doing anything wrong, I've got nothing to worry about. That's just me.
That's true, that's true. And then, so since you mentioned that as well, let's say, you see a lot of cameras there, you know. Most foreigners, when they come here, they might focus on the cameras because there's quite a lot of cameras. You can see them everywhere. Does that concern you? Like, do you have anything to say about that?
Is Big Brother watching me?
Yeah, Big Brother watching me.
Look, it's a different culture,
right?
You know, as far as like
hello. Hi.
It's a different culture as far as security and you know, I guess QR codes and all this type of stuff. It does take a little while to get your mind around that. Maybe in the West, we're not so used to that level of government control, if that's the word you want to use. Again, it doesn't really alarm me because I'm not here to worry about that. I didn't come here to get involved in politics. I came out here to work and build a life. So it needn't concern me. As long as it doesn't concern my welfare, my well-being, you know, then I'm not really going to dig into it too much and let it affect my experience. That's just me.
So that's actually a very solid response, really. So now let's move a little bit from there in terms of like safety here in China. So what's your opinion, really? Do you think China's a safe place? Because on a lot of media, there's people saying like people that have no freedom to move around.
Well, you see me now, right? Well, no, but to answer that question in a serious way, actually, and I've traveled to a fair few countries, this has to be one of the safest countries I've been in. Like, you talk to people here and they say it, but you see people out, men and women, of all backgrounds, late at night, by themselves, sometimes in groups, never seen any issues on the street, never seen any violence, never seen any crime, like never seen people get accosted for anything. And that's me being out here in a short time, but I can tell you it's extremely safe. You don't feel like you have to have your head on a swivel or worry about your safety or your well-being, and that's a big thing. You know, when you're a foreigner, you're in a country where maybe, you know, people that are around don't look necessarily like you. You're not so familiar looking, so that's a big thing. And I tell you, this is extremely safe out here. Definitely one of the safest countries I've been in, and I like that. That tells me that I can, you know, feel more at peace and more relaxed as I'm going about my life, and that's a big thing when you're trying to, you know, migrate or live elsewhere. You want to feel secure and you want to feel safe. So you definitely get that in China.
Absolutely. You are solid, mate. You're very sound when it comes towards some of the things I've already like experienced here.